underneath the floor, in the trenches like a war. If they want to give them more, when I touch down, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touch down, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touch down, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touch down, touchdown, touchdown. Fourth down.
Just about time to rock as Toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway from Indianapolis. And he out. The first drive will start at the 25. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU, it's Zach Wilson.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw 1 touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
Quickly to the air is Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. Brings up 3rd and 1. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Right back to him on 1st down. To about the 48-yard line. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Toward the sideline, and he will have the 1st down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. You got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game. It will continue after picking up another 1st there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Play action. It's Wilson. He completes it to Boyd. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. They go play action with Wilson. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And a look here at the veteran under center, their 7th-year quarterback.
I guess we're going to have to nickname him the thrower, aren't we, or something like that.
After last week?
I mean, man, you're talking about over 400 yards throwing the ball. The running backs and everyone else may be looking at him like, hey, don't forget us. And he probably just tell him, listen, you want to get involved?
Go out.
Go out and catch some passes. I'll make sure you touch it.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing Jones. Open man right side is St. Brown. And now a stoppage, and it looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. Well, always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And taken right on the 30. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Yeah, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Samson Abuka drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hekker to punt it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. He'll look to set up his blockers. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. 2nd possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 19 carries, 70 yards, and a touchdown.
One thing I do know, teams in the NFL don't treat this like a pitcher throwing the no-hitter. It's been mentioned all week long about going out and getting him the rushing title. He'll see the ball, and he'll see it often.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now Jones. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones, and they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Back to throw again. This will go to Henry out wide. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Here's Tommy Townsend now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Colts set to take over here offensively. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. In last week's game for Kittle, there are the numbers. 6 catches, 75 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and 3.
They go play action now. Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So on now is Johnny Hekker to punt this one away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Off the play fake. Jones, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that 6th sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. From the 6 now on 2nd and 3. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. On 1st down, Jones. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Back to throw. Jones. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And a gain there of 11 yards.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. Over the middle, complete. It's McLaughlin. He's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So, roughing the passer penalty, never one that you like to see.
Not at all, and especially when you're in that final push of the season. You can't afford to get your quarterback hurt before the playoffs roll around, and we know they'll be here before you know it.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Now on 2nd and 13. Jones. He's got Derrick Henry again. Back-to-back catches. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. Jones from the gun on 3rd down. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And the Colts pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Pete Werner. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
And out now come the Seahawks. Following the interception, they're set up nicely here, already inside the red zone, knocking on the door, if you will. 1st and 10. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10. Back to throw. Jones. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They had great starting position to begin the drive, and now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Jones. Touchdown! Amon-Ra St. Brown with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Seahawks are back within a score. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football, and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Samson Ebukam able to record his 5th sack of the season. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the gun, it's Wilson. He gets this one to Boyd. We need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th. Now, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's when we turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely, because remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 2nd down at 6 now from the 42. On the option right, it's Jones. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Now Jones on 1st down. The toss here completed to Pittman. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. They've got good hands. Then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That was a good forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles, usually doesn't work very well. And we saw in that play, he'll run right through those attempted plays.
2nd down, they go again with Henry. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. On 3rd down, Henry. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We saw the ladder there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and 1st down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. Indy set to go on offense once more. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half. Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with a slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now it's 3rd and 4.
It's now 3rd and 4.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth. Yes, and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Colts moving quickly here in the hurry-up offense. From the 38, Wilson looking for his man on the out route, and he's got Diggs. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the Seahawks have picked it up.
Wilson on the keeper. Fumble on the play.
Well, that's unfortunate because he had a nice run going, but give credit to the defense. They got a hand in the cookie jar there, CD.
You have to think about vision, finding a place to get down after you know you've gotten all you can out of a run, and obviously ball security is paramount. In today's football, everyone's coming after the rock. You've got to make sure you protect it and protect the yardage you just gained.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Jones. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Here's Jones on 1st and 10. He'll go right back to St. Brown. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Back to throw. Jones. And right side, Henry's got it. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
A gain of 9.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jones, he's going to go up top for the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. Jahan Dotson, as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks would extend their lead here just before halftime.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half, and that'll give us momentum.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So take away the touchdown there, as that's going to be ruled an incomplete pass. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that will be incomplete with the clock down now to 13 seconds. Sanders' kick is good, and that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So able to add on to their first half lead here, Charles, forcing the miscue with a fumble and then turning that into 3 points.
Yeah, and more than happy to accept any mistakes the other side is willing to make. No problem. You turn it over, we'll take that, and we'll use it to expand our lead.
And he returns this to the 22. The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get things going with a good one in our nation's capital. The Jets in town to take on Washington. And it's the home team who are out in front. Lamar Jackson, 2 touchdown passes thus far. From there, we'll head to Cleveland to check on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Terry McLaurin, a touchdown reception. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. In that matchup, all even in their battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. Continuing on, here's a look at the next-gen stats in that first half. And even though they've got a halftime lead, they're likely devising ways as we speak to try and get a little more production from their passing game. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told him, guys, if he wants to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we have to dial things back a little bit.
This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Henry up the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 18. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Jones now throwing on 3rd and long. He's got a man, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. So another on-target throw, and that last one, Charles, going to put him up over 5,000 yards passing out for the season, and that is not an insignificant number.
Indeed it is not, because this is not a big list, and most of the guys on it, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Dan Marino, they either are or will be Hall of Famers.
Jones throw into the hands of Pittman here. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Jones throwing on 1st down. And going right back to Pittman. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
It's a gain of 7.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Throwing, Jones. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows 1st down.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route. But he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Inside handoff, Henry. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now to this point.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
He's tackled at the 7-yard line.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Operating from the gun, Jones. Out to the right and complete to Pittman. Touchdown, Seahawks. Michael Pittman, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead now up to 14. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
Tackled at the 25-yard line. That's a gain of 3.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And Diggs has it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a 1st down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He completes it to Boyd. They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 40-yard line.
Jet sweep, Boyd with it. And this is going to be a Colts 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
A gain of 6.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
Wilson's throw here into the hands of Boyd. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Brings up 3rd down and 5.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we know the guys up front have to protect when it's a pass play, but it's really out wide. Sometimes you're going to swing a tight end or maybe even offensive tackle to get out there, but most of the time it's fellow wide receivers, and they really weren't up to the task there, were they?
Do you like that call on your own side of the field?
I don't mind that call at all, just about anywhere. But the key is you have to have the confidence, and then they have to execute their blocking assignments. Otherwise, you get the end result we just saw there.
Salt Lake City's offense back onto the field. And the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We're always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Jones. Out of his hands quickly to Pittman. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Again to Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down. From the 38, Jones. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 24-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now a handoff to Henry. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Looking to throw. Jones. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Jones. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there with 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
The kick by Sanders is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And the Colts getting ready to go.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Wilson. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Wilson. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. This offense so far on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Looking to throw. Jones. And that'll be incomplete. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Derrick Henry. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
I know this time. This size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Center's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
Out of bounds at the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 7.
To throw again on second down, Wilson. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson.
Again to the big tight end, George Kittle.
Complete to George Kittle. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
From the 40 now on second down, Wilson. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. And it has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Fourth down. Here's Wilson. Going deep for Diggs. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Apparently they weren't interested in playing the field position game. They opt to keep their offense out there. A big mistake in hindsight.
Yeah, that one backfired, and hindsight's always 20/20, but let's call it what it was. We would have first guessed that one and said, don't do it here. Bad situation. I think they need to be closer to midfield before I would start to think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And once you start taking risks like that, you're going to have to keep taking them throughout the game, especially when they don't work.
Yeah, at this stage of the second half, interesting.
Henry again on second down.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. Man open. It's St. Brown. He's got it. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and goal.
Looking to throw. Jones.
This will go to Henry out wide.
Touchdown! Derrick Henry from 3 yards out.
And the Seahawks are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. So definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. A 4th touchdown pass as they're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into clock mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead, 4th quarter, they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look.
Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles, and it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason, that's what we're always striving for. But I think we get it during the regular season, too, because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulling out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Now Wilson. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he is going to lose yardage here. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. In that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He gets this one to Boyd. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. And that makes them now 0 for 3 on 4th down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it this many times on 4th down. I think they'd have to start thinking with their head a little bit more than with their gut and their emotions because it's not working for them. They've got to figure out what's been going wrong.
Now Jones on 1st down.
Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones, this is caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
But that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
Sanders on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. And the Colts now are ready to get the football back. Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
By number 10. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Now Wilson.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
On 2nd and 10. Wilson. It's complete to Diggs. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
3rd and long. It's Wilson.
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
A 3-yard gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for our visitors,
they solidify their spot in the playoffs as they run their mark to 12-4 on the year.